Thank you for being here with me. We're going to begin by settling into your comfortable seated position with possibly something under your seat to give you a feeling of ease through the lower back. And once you've found your comfortable seated position, you can allow your eyes to close or soften. Take a moment to just be and observe and feel. Notice how your body is feeling as you sit in stillness with yourself. Sense your breath flowing through your nose. So feel the touch of your breath as it enters into your nostrils and travels through your body down into your abdomen. And then back out again. First, beginning to feel the way that you breathe from the inside. Find your natural rhythm and cadence of breath. And then bring your attention to your skin. And sense now that you could breathe in and out through the pores of your skin. So that your skin is sort of feeling very open to receive information. And in breathing with this awareness, you may find a sense of naturally softening your body a little bit more. Continue in this way just for another minute or so, breathing in, breathing out, with this smoothness, steadiness, and gentleness of breath. Bring your hands together in front of your heart center now and ask for an intention to emerge from within. And feel really what the idea of this intention feels like in your body. And in this way, you're embodying your intention, right? You're embodying really the heart of this yoga practice, which comes from a deeper place. Let's gently bow your chin towards your chest. Blink your eyes open, taking a soft gaze towards your fingertips. And then really, really gently, we're going to start to move through the arms. So with your next natural inhale, you're just going to open your arms wide into cactus. And as you exhale, wide and back to heart. Inhaling wide into cactus, and then wide and back to heart. 3 more. So you're just feeling the body, feeling and sensing the receptivity, even through your skin as you move. And this just changes the feeling of the movement and of the poses. Bring hands back to heart. Next time your hands are at your heart, pause. And we're going to bring hands to the floor. Lean to your right side. And then in a side bend, you're going to start to side bend so that you're slightly shortening the right side of the body, lengthening the left side of the body, and then slowly graze your left hand up the side body as you reach overhead. Reach more through your pinky fingers and take a moment to just sense as you're breathing receptivity through your fingertips, feeling what you feel at your fingertips. And then draw that same receptivity down the arm, down through the side body, receding breath into the side body. Good, reach up through your fingertips and make your way back through center. And then we'll move into the other side. So side bend first. And then trace your right arm up the side body as you reach long. Sense the feeling of the skin of your throat, your neck, your shoulders. And let the awareness of your outer body, your skin, cultivate a sense of allowing. Okay, let's reach up and come back through center. We're going to make our way forward to hands and knees. If you like a blanket or something under your knees, you're welcome to use it. Set your hands so that the middle fingers are outer shoulder distance apart. So a nice width between the hands. Claw down through your fingertips. And we'll slowly start to take cat-cow, reaching the chest forward on an inhale. And exhale, round your spine. And as you're moving in rhythm and time with your own breath, continuing for a few more cycles with this sensitivity in the skin. Okay, let's come back through neutral tabletop. Find your neutral spine, lower back, gently curving inward, long through the back of the neck. Arms straight, strong pillars of support here. And as you next exhale, you're going to slowly lift your right knee, leg in a bent position, circle the knee wide, release back to the floor, and slide back to child's pose. Coming back, other side, left leg wide, back to child's pose. Right leg. Circle back, wide, down, and child's pose. Back forward. So we're going to circle back, and then wide, and then down, and then child's. Lift, just continuing to alternate, warming up through the hip joints. As you're lifting the leg, be mindful of keeping the pelvis reasonably level. And let your breath here be continuous. So if you feel that it's tricky to time your breath with movement, then just let your breath be continuous based on what feels natural and supportive for you right now. One more to each side. Take a breath in, reaching the chest forward. As you breathe out, move your seat back towards your heels. Come forward on an inhale and seat back to heels on an exhale. One more time. Good, and let's come forward into tabletop. Walk the hands forward, one hand print. Tuck your toes. Press the floor away and widen your collarbones. So you're broad across the chest, and then keep that as you lift your hips into downward facing dog. So stretching back through the heels. You can bend your knees as much as you need. And then let's take a moment here to alternately bend and straighten the legs. So bend maybe the right leg first. Take a breath or two into the back of the left leg, the left calf. And then switch sides. Good. Let's slowly lower the knees back to the floor on an inhale. As you exhale, step your right foot forward. Hands can come to the floor or to blocks. Gaze just slightly forward. Sense that you're light on your fingertips. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. And then we'll slowly ground the hands. Slide your right leg back, keeping the foot hovering. And you can kind of stay here with the bent leg in a bent position, the left leg. Or you can work this as follows. So we'll ground into the hands. As you bend your right knee in towards your chest, lift your left knee, tucking the toes. Relower the left knee as you extend your right leg. A couple more times, lifting the left knee as you draw the right knee in, and then coming back. And as you're working this, you want to work to move your pelvis and your low back as little as possible. So we're just warming up into the core. Breathing continuously and mindfully. One more. Good. Both knees to the floor. Back to child's pose. Rise back through table. Step your left foot forward. So you're just opening up through the front of the right leg here. A little lift of the low belly. And maybe a little bit of engagement through the right glute, so that you can open up into the front hip a little bit more. Good, and then ground your hands. Again, extend your left leg long, grow longer and stronger through the left leg. And you can keep your right knee on the floor as you bend the knee forward and extend back. Or as you start to bend the knee forward, lift the right leg. And then as you extend back, lower the knee back to the floor. Good. Left knee in, right knee lifts. Extend, lowering the right leg back. And then keep going in your own time. And keep the sense of the lower belly lifting to support you. Building a little heat, one more. And then slowly lower both knees to the floor, tuck your toes back into child's pose or puppy pose with the toes tucked. Let's come back into tabletop position or modified plank, tuck the toes, come back into down dog. Then with an inhale, come forward into plank pose, stretching long from heels to crown. Knees can come to the floor if needed. As you exhale, keep your strong diagonal line. Bend the elbows back diagonally, lower all the way to the floor. Ground from your pelvis through the tops of the feet. On an inhale, reach your chest forward and up. As you exhale, lower back down, lifting on the same exhale back through table or plank and into child's pose or down dog. 3 full breaths here. So the outer shoulders are softening back so that you're feeling spacious around the shoulders and neck. Feel your skin. Be receptive to sensation on your skin through your whole body. Good. As you breathe in, look forward. As you exhale, slowly step your feet forward. Round your feet, bend your knees, and with an inhale, rise up tall. And as you exhale, open your arms wide by your sides. Ground through the feet on an inhale, reach your arms upward. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees as you go. Bring hands to shin. Lift your torso about parallel with the floor. Lengthen the sides of the neck and the back of the neck. Broaden across the chest. As you exhale, bring your hands back to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Take a breath in, grounding through the hands. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Good, ground from your pelvis through the tops of the feet. On an inhale, reach forward through the chest. Soften the tops of your shoulders down. Maybe knees just slightly upward. As you exhale, lower back down. Lift back into plank or tabletop and then into down dog or child. So as we move through these dynamic plank flows, your option is always to come to your knees instead and take a couple rounds of cat-cow, just like we began the practice, okay? So I really want to encourage you to co-create your practice with me today, especially because you're working from home. So take good care of yourself as you move. Let's trace the gaze forward as you breathe in, step forward as you breathe out. Ground your feet, bend your knees, reach your crown forward and up as you rise on an inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back. This time, keep your right knee lifting, and you want your sole of your right foot to be almost vertical, so not kind of stretching back like that, but almost vertical. And then hug your left outer hip back. Let your right hand stay steady on the floor as you reach your left arm up. And again, here, see if you can just be in the full body experience. You can always bring your left hand to your lower back if you need to soften and breathe. Feel the outer sensations of the body as well as the inner sensations. Let's slowly release the left hand to the floor. Bring the left leg towards a straightened position. You can always lower the right knee to the floor if you need, or elevate your hands on blocks or on books. Allow the spine to cascade over the left leg if it feels comfortable for your neck. And otherwise, keep yourself elevated a little bit, stretching the crown forward. Good, let's rebend into the left leg, ground the right knee, and slide the left leg back into a 3-leg plank. Again, if you want to, you can stay with your right leg on the floor, the right knee on the floor, or tuck your toes, lift your right knee, keep your pelvis level as your left foot hovers. Good, allow the left foot to come down, take a breath in. As you breathe out, hold plank or continue down to the floor. Inhale, rising into cobra. Exhale, lowering and lifting back into plank and down dog. Three full breaths here. Come to your knees at any point if you need. Take a breath in, looking forward. As you breathe out, slowly step forward. Ground your feet, bend your knees. With an inhale, rise up tall. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. On an inhale, circle your arms wide and up. Interlace your fingers, and then point your index fingers up toward the ceiling. On your next inhale, grow a little taller. As you exhale, side bend towards your left. Find your end range of motion, and then we'll stay there as you start to just move in and out a couple of times. Breathing, finding softness through the face. Okay. With your next in-breath, rise back through center. Release your arms by your sides. Take 2 full breaths here, just noticing any sensation along the right side of the body. And then as you breathe in, next, again, take your hands up, interlace your fingers, extend your index fingers. Side bend towards your right. And then once you found kind of an end range, just gonna move in and out a couple of times. This is a very gentle movement, okay, not aggressive. And then come back up, and we'll slowly release the arms down once again. Let's sweep the arms up on an inhale. As you exhale, fold forward. Take a breath in, reaching the chest forward. As you breathe out, step your, what is it, guys? Can you tell me? Left foot back into a long lunge. Reach back through your heel. I can't hear you. Draw your right outer hip back. And then getting steady on the left hand, reach your right arm up. At any point, you can lower your left knee to the floor if you just want to moderate your practice a little bit and go a little softer with yourself. Good, let's slowly release. Right hand back down. Bring your right leg towards a straight position. And you can keep your left knee lifting or lower the left knee. And even if the floor is a little bit far away for you, you can interlace your hands and place them on top of the right leg and work the pose in this way. Good, let's slowly rebend into the right leg, lower the left knee to the floor if it isn't already, and extend the right leg back. So now you're in a modified plank. Stay here, or lift your left knee, endeavoring to keep your pelvis level so the right side of the pelvis isn't lifting too high. And breathe. Good, lower your right foot to the floor, hold here in plank, or continue down to the floor. With an inhale, stretching from the toes all the way up through the crown as you reach the chest forward. As you exhale, lowering and pressing back into puppy pose, child's pose, or down dog. Good. On an inhale, look forward. As you exhale, lightly step your feet forward, any number of steps. Ground your feet and bend your knees. And then on an inhale, rise up tall, reaching up, and bring your hands together in front of your heart center. Good. Ground into your heels and sit your hips low. And then reach your arms forward, keeping the front ribs knitting down. Maybe think about reaching the arms up any amount. Feel the fingertips. As you reach up through the arms, the fingertips are even alive with awareness. With your next natural inhale, straighten your legs, reach up. As you exhale, bring your hands through your heart center. Good. Reach your arms up one more time. As you exhale, bend your knees once again. This time, step your right foot back and ground your heel on a diagonal. Hug the left outer hip back slightly and get really present through the back leg, stretching the heel back and down. And then, with your next natural inhale, open your arms wide. And as you exhale, you're going to interlace your hands behind you, squeeze your palms, and then just think about pulling the hands apart. If it's really quite easy for you to straighten the arms, you can do that as well, or work with the elbows bent. Start to lean forward, and then you can stay kind of elevated through the spine, or allow the spine to soften and round so that your gaze comes towards your back foot. Feel the support of your legs in allowing the spine to soften. Good, press into the feet, trace your gaze forward and up to rise, reaching the arms up. And then reach forward, lift your back heel, round into your left foot. As you think about lifting the right leg or lift, arms can stay outstretched in front of you, or you can bring your hands to your heart or arms by your sides. Sense that this whole pose is really supported by actively grounding through your left foot. Let's slowly, slowly, slowly reach your right foot way back now, even farther back. Sweep the arms up one more time on an inhale. Release your hands to the floor. As you exhale, take downward facing dog. Whew. Good. Let's staying in a downward facing dog upper body shape, bend the knees almost to the floor. Now you can just let the knees settle in on the floor and move through this, or keep the knees hovering. You're gonna try to keep your lower legs and your knees low as you move into plank, and then keep them low as you move the hips back into starting position. So we're just breathing continuously, exploring the gliding action of the body, really steady, keeping the knees low. Good. Who loves a little bit of core? So enlivening. Okay, let's come forward through plank and then make your way back into downward facing dog. Good. Take a breath in, looking forward. As you breathe out, slowly step your feet forward. Ground your feet and bend your knees. With an inhale, rise up tall. As you exhale, open your arms wide. Good. Bring your hands to heart center. Reach your arms up through your center line. As you exhale, sit your hips low and slide your left foot back, grounding into the left heel. Good. On your next inhale, open your arms wide. And then as you exhale, again, we're going to interlace the hands behind, squeezing palms. Maybe you interlace the hands the opposite way that feels a little funny. Squeeze your palms, gently pull the hands apart with about 40% effort. And then start to hinge forward. And you can stay long through the spine if that feels better for the lower back or neck, or allow your spine to soften down. So the right shoulder might rest on the right thigh, just kind of supporting you here. Good. Ground into your feet. Slowly make your way back up. Sweep your arms wide and up. Reach forward. Start to lift your back heel. Get steady through your right leg. Press the floor away through the right foot as you lift your left leg. Hands can come to heart center or arms reaching straight forward. You can always bring your toes back to the floor and just think about lifting the leg as well. 2 more breaths. Can you breathe? And here, can you find receptivity through the skin? What does that feel like? Good. Let's reach your left foot way back, even further. Reach your arms up one more time. Release your hands back down and step back to down dog. Bend your knees almost to the floor or to the floor if you want to take it a little easier today. And then we'll just slide through plank and back a couple of times. Good. Back into down dog or child's pose. 3 more full breaths in either down dog or child's pose, your choice. And then let's take an inhale, rising back through down dog or tabletop if you were in child's pose. As you exhale, step your feet forward. Ground through your feet, bend your knees, reach your arms wide enough to rise on an inhale, and bring your hands to heart center as you exhale. Good. On an inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, sit low. And step your left foot back here, reaching way back into a long lunge. And then on an inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Outer right hip hugging back. On an exhale, open your hips toward the left edge of your mat, rounding your left foot with the foot just turning slightly in. And then draw your right outer hip back and in so you feel your right knee directed straight toward the center of the foot. Take a few moments before you do anything to just feel the whole shape of the pose. Feel the receptivity through the outer form of your body. Softening your eyes, softening your mouth. And then with a sense of real purpose, but without aggressiveness, you're just gonna start to squeeze or knit the 2 halves of the lower belly toward one another. Just support yourself a little more. Let's bring your right leg towards straight. Reach your left arm up. And then we're just gonna slowly slide the hips back as you slide your right hand down any amount. Reach through the left hand and reach up as you come back up. Do this a couple more times, sliding the hand down and then reach through the left hand as you come back up. Again, sliding and reaching. Last time. Good. Release your right hand down. Left hand down. Sweep your right arm up. Reach more through the right hand as you rebend into the right leg. And let's do this side now. So we're going to slowly start to reach the arm forward and then reach the arm back up. Reach the arm forward and then reach back up. Forward and back up. Good. Last time. Good. Back into warrior 2, breathing in. As you exhale, hands to the floor. Let's step back to a 3-leg plank pose. Reaching back through the right foot. Reach long through the heel, strong, steady arms, and then take it back to a 3-leg down dog, reaching the right leg back and up, or lower your left knee to the floor if you prefer. In either case, the pelvis stays level, so the right hip doesn't swing up toward the ceiling. Good. Lower your right knee to the floor or foot to the floor. Take a breath in, reaching the chest forward into tabletop position. As you exhale, child's pose. Twice more. Inhale, coming through table and reaching the chest forward. Exhale, back into child's pose. Good. Everyone now tucking the toes. Rise into down dog. Trace your gaze forward on an inhale, and on an exhale, slowly step your feet forward. Good. We're gonna take an inhale now to bend the knees, reach the crown forward, and rise up tall. And an exhale to bring your hands to your heart center. And then again, reaching your arms up on an inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, sit your hips low, slide your right foot back. Left outer hip snugging back and in as you sweep your arms up. And then you keep the firmness through the outer hip as you open wide into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. So again, as you settle, just feel open to the experience. Create an openness to the experience here as you breathe. And then get receptively more powerful through the legs. And find that inner support of the two sides of the lower belly knitting toward one another, like you're zipping up the very lowest part of the belly. One more breath here. Slowly bring your left leg towards the straightened position as you release your arms down. And then you're gonna slide your right hand or left hand down your left thigh as you reach your right arm up. Reach through the fingers as you rise back up. Keep going here at your own pace. Keeping that inner support, the lower abdominal engagement here, so that you are really finding that the upper body can move with a sense of ease. One more. Good. Let's slowly release the right hand down. Sweep your left arm up, spinning the palm back towards the back edge of your mat as you bend into the left leg. Get lighter through the torso now. And you're going to start to maybe side bend towards your right just a little more to your level of comfort before reaching forward, coming out, and then back up. Couple more times. Sliding in and out of the pose. When you're next reaching up, pause. Come back into Warrior Two. Let's sweep both arms up as you straighten through the left leg. Bring your hands to your heart center. Turn your left foot to be parallel with your right, grounding through the outer edges of the feet. And then slowly slide your hands down your outer thighs as you pivot forward from your pelvis. So the knees might bend. You might send your seat back, and I'll show you from this side, or from the sideways position. So you might send your seat back a little. If your lower back is feeling it needs a little more ease, and walk the hands forward. Or you might choose to straighten the legs, suctioning down through the outer feet as you allow the head to soften toward the floor. If you're somebody who can reach the floor or approach the floor with your head quite easily, and you feel a lot of hinge coming from the hips, I'm going to ask you to just explore maybe moving the tailbone toward the floor a little so that you feel a little release in the low back. If you're someone who is not really able to come towards the floor so much, you might want to, again, go back to that bent knee position a little bit and just focus more on moving from the tops of the hips. Let's invite awareness through 3 more breaths. Slowly now start to walk your hands and feet around to the front of your mat in a long lunge. And then we're going to ground the hands, either keeping the right knee on the floor or lifted. Sneak your left leg back into a floating 3-leg tripod. Okay, from here, slow and steady, rise back into 3-leg down dog, or if your knee is on the floor, 3-leg tabletop. Breathe, keep the sides of the waist hugging in. Good, and then if you're in tabletop, lower your knee. If you're in down dog, your foot. Everyone through tabletop now on an inhale. With an exhale, seat to heels. And then twice more with your own breath. Coming into table on an inhale and sitting back on an exhale. Okay, let's come back through table now and take your feet a little bit wider on your mat, your knees wider to the outer edges of the mat. And we'll take one more down dog here with the feet a little wider. Just lengthening through the spine, press the tops of the thighs back. Ground into the hands, press the floor away. Good. And then walk your hands back towards you. And we're gonna bring hands onto thighs, onto bent knees. And keeping the lower back moving in, your seat low. Bring your fingertips to touch. And we're just gonna think about here, lifting and lowering just a couple of degrees, keeping the lower back kind of neutral. So we're not gonna let the lower back round. Okay, so we're gonna hinge from the hips up and down a couple of times with awareness. Good, let's ground into the feet and slowly rise up tall, reach your arms up and release your arms wide. Okay, take your feet hip distance apart. Make sure there's not like a wall behind you or something that you might kick, okay, because you're at the back of the mat. So if you need to make adjustments, you can do that. And then let's ground into the feet. And we're gonna try for a little bit of dynamic movement. So to start, let's create receptivity. Breathe in and out a few breaths with the feeling of the whole outer form of the body. Then, keeping this sense of outer awareness, we're gonna also start to develop inner awareness by thinking about lifting the base of the pelvis. So the sling of muscles that's at the very bottom of the pelvis, you're gonna think about lifting the center of that between your tailbone and your pubic bone. And as you do that, you want to sense that you can still breathe. Sometimes if you're having trouble connecting with it, you might try engaging on an exhale. So you might use your exhale to think about lifting that center of that sling of muscles, the center of your pelvic floor, and then continue to breathe with this engagement as we start to shift weight onto your right foot. Lift your left knee any amount as you reach your arms up. Okay, you can keep your toes on the floor if you need, or keep the leg elevated as you slide your left arm back and reach your right arm forward, rotating your ribcage towards your left. And then back through center and release everything back down. Grounding into the left foot, lift onto the ball of your right foot or the whole foot. Slide your right arm back, reaching the left arm forward. Come back through center. And with control, lower everything at the same time. Adding on, lifting left leg, little bit of a rotation of the ribs, reaching left arm back, and then back up. And now you can touch your left toes down or just kick your heel towards your left seat, reach your left hand back behind you. Think about growing tall, and you can hold here or start to reach forward through the right hand as you kick back and up through the left. We're going to slowly glide back out. Coming back up, reach up as you release your left foot down and allow the arms to come by your sides. Good. Let's reach the arms up and lift the right leg. Open wide into your twist. Come back through center. Find steadiness through the left leg as you maybe think about kicking the heel towards your seat. Reach back, take a hold from the inner or outer foot, and you could stay here. You could even bring your left hand to the wall or to a chair as you start to kick. Think about trying to level your pelvis the same way that we were working through tabletop. Left arm higher than the chest, and then slowly back, and release everything back down. Okay, one more round. Are you ready? Let's take the arms up, lifting the left leg maybe, or just if you need to at any point, just keep the foot on the floor. Again, twist, rise back, kick your left heel towards your seat, take hold of your foot. Good, find steadiness through the right leg as you kick and reach. Good, let's now add on, slowly extending your left leg long as you again reach your left arm forward before coming back up and releasing the arms down. Ground your left foot, reach your arms up, coming to the tips of the right toes, maybe lifting. Rotate your rib cage towards your right, reach the arms wide. Stretch your arms up. Good, kick your right heel in towards your seat, take hold. And then when you're ready, if and when you're ready, reach forward. Breathe. Embrace the wobble as you release your right foot. Extend your leg long, reach the arms forward. The toes can come to the floor if you need. And step forward. Release the arms down. Good. And now give yourself 2 more breaths to just feel the whole experience of the body once again. On an inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, fold forward. Good. Allow your spine to soften over generously bent knees and your head to cascade down toward the floor. If this is a lot for you or being upside down is not helpful right now for you, bring your elbows onto your thighs and just keep a nice long spine. Give yourself a few more mindful breaths. Good. Let's bring hands to the floor, step back through plank. If you'd like, you can hold plank, take a couple rounds of cat-cow, or go through a flow in your own time. The exhale taking you down to the floor. The inhale, grounding through the tops of the feet as you rise into cobra with bent elbows, keeping the elbows bent. Exhaling, lowering, and moving back through plank or table and into child's or down dog. 3 more breaths wherever you choose to be. I'll meet back through table. You can take your legs off to one side or cross your ankles behind you as you take a seat. Soles of the feet on the floor. Well done, everyone. And let's take a moment. I'm actually going to show you from this side because we're going to set up for Navasana or boat pose. But what we want is to have the lower back moving in, right? So we're keeping a long spine. As you start to maybe come onto fingertips by your sides, sit up nice and tall and just sense here that there's a receptivity. There's one style of yoga that I used to practice, and the first step in every pose was called opening to grace, which means that we're literally approaching every pose in the spirit of softness and receptivity rather than powering through even the most powerful poses. So let's work on keeping this feeling as we come to the tips of the toes. Breathing. And then maybe lifting one lower leg at a time or not. Think about pressing into your feet like you're pushing a truck out of the mud. Lift and broaden your chest. Maybe the arms reach forward or extend wide. Breathe. Slowly release and allow your spine to soften over your knees. And then we'll take the knees off to your left. So you're going to have your right foot kind of tucked towards your seat with the toes pointing back and the left foot towards the right thigh. Bring your left hand back behind you and then slowly let your hips lift so you feel a little opening through the front hip as you stretch your right arm up and over. Good, allow everything to come back down. Take both feet out in front and move it to the other side. Right hand back, slowly, mindfully elevating the hips as you stretch through the left side body. And then we'll come back through center. Good. Bring the soles of your feet to your mat, facing forward, and we'll slowly roll onto the back. Nicely done, everyone. Take a moment to just feel what you feel. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, and then we'll draw right knee in towards you. Interlace your hands behind your right thigh. And maybe think about extending the leg long, reaching through the heel. You can keep your left sole of the foot on the floor or extend the left leg long. Breathe, allowing the body to soften down. To me, what opening to grace really means is acknowledging that we're not just individual beings in this world alone, but that we are constantly supported by a force bigger than ourselves. So if you can just allow that to resonate or not, if it doesn't resonate with you today, perhaps even sensing what that feels like in the body, to know that you are not alone. Let's slowly rebend the right leg. Interlace your hands on top of the right shin. And then just lift your left heel off of the floor a couple of inches before sneaking that foot back to the floor. Release your right foot. Draw your left knee in. Interlace your hands behind your thigh. Extend your leg. Once the leg is straight and strong, you can bring the leg in towards you any amount that feels comfortable. But we're looking to straighten the leg first, or bring it towards straight, even if it's still a little bent, that's okay. And then worry about how close it's coming towards you. And if it feels good for the lower back to extend the right leg long, of course you can do that as well. Let's slowly rebend the left leg. Interlace hands around the shin, and then just lift the right heel a couple of inches before slowly drawing the knee in, bringing the foot to the floor. Release your left foot to meet your right. Bring your feet together, soles of the feet together, and the knees wide. And normally, and if you have something at home to support your knees, like a couple of blocks or a couple of pillows, I would invite you to use them. And if you don't, then that's okay. You can, but I would invite you to not let your knees just flop to their end range. Maybe focus on pressing the feet together so that you feel that there's kind of a support through your core a little bit, and that your knees are kind of supported by your own inner strength. Okay. Just want to make sure your knees are symmetrical, so symmetrically lowering to the floor. You can bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, or both hands to your belly, and just let your breath flow. Beginning the process of softening and letting go. Let's use the hands to help your legs back to center. Feet hip distance apart one more time. Cross right ankle over left knee. And you can stay here. Bring your left foot to a block. Or you can put your lower leg on something like a sofa or a chair. If you have somebody at home with you who, like, those kids that like to eat your food out of your refrigerator, maybe ask them to hold your leg for you. Or interlace your hands around your left leg. Work to bring the left thigh in towards you while allowing the right knee to move away. Remind yourself in this moment your intention for your practice. How do I embody that in this moment? Let's slowly release your left foot back down, right foot down. and simply switch sides. Be mindful that your left foot is turned on and flexed. It's not just hanging out, but really active. And then just slowly release when you're ready. And release your left foot to the floor. Let's let the knees come together. So the feet are just a little wider than the hips, not to the outer edge of the mat, but just a little wider as the knees come together. Allow your arms to drape across your body. Good. Let's take just a moment to lift the head away from the floor. Breathing. Relax back down. And let's hold constructive resting pose here for a few more breath cycles. Allow your arms to relax by your side. And you can hug your knees in towards your chest. You could take happy baby pose, taking hold of the outer or inner edges of the feet as you draw your knees in. Or when you're ready, you can relax your legs long into your final Shavasana. So I'm lucky to have a bolster and a blanket. You might want to place some pillows under your legs or books or anything that you can find that might support your knees in order to help your lower back relax. And you might also want to have a blanket under your head. So that's up to you, however you need to situate yourself to find ease and comfort through the whole body, the shoulders, the neck, the lower back. As you settle into your final Shavasana, allow your breath to quiet. And bring attention to the tips of your toes. Feeling sensation at the tips of your toes. Sensation up through the soles of your feet and the tops of your feet. Through your ankles. Through your shins and calves. Through your knee joints. Your thighs. Hip joints. into the center of your pelvis. And up into your belly. And then feel sensation at your fingertips. Sensation in the palms of your hands, in the back of your hands. At your wrist joints. Your forearms. Elbows. Upper arms. Shoulders. Sensation through your whole heart space. Feel sensation in your throat and around your neck. Up through your face. Inside of your mouth. Underneath your eyelids. Across your forehead. Up through the scalp, through the top, sides, and back of the scalp. And now just sensing your whole outer body, the skin, the receptivity of your whole outer body. And again, sense your whole body, your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, just bring your hands onto your belly for a few moments. Place the soles of the feet on the floor for a few moments. and hug your knees in towards your chest for a few moments. And then shoulders and legs moving at the same time. Slowly roll onto one side as a transition, or make your way up to seated in any way that's comfortable for you. Let your eyes close for just a little while longer as you bring your hands together in front of your heart. And just consider how you might embody your intention now as you head off of your mat, as you interact with those around you, as you interact with people that you encounter. Thank you for being here with me today. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.